Welcome to the weekend edition of the King Mo Show. Recently, I had the opportunity to go to England, and while I was over there, did the sightseeing, walked around, all kinds of type of stuff like that. But on my way home, I was at Heathrow Airport, and I had a lot of time to kill. And I think they strategically did this because they wouldn't tell you what gate your plane is going to be at until 15 minutes before it started boarding. So they kind of force you into this one central area where there's all this duty-free stuff. And I just roamed around. And then invariably, I ended up into one of the places where they sold alcohol. And yeah, they offered me free samples. So I started trying things. And so naturally, I bought some stuff. And there was a wonderful gentleman, Badu. He helped me. He gave me samples, helped me try different things. So I bought 2 different bottles of stuff, and that's what I want to talk about today. But before I talk about the bottles, I also want to talk about the whole duty-free process and how messed up it is. Pretty sure it's a scam. Some of the stuff they have at duty-free, you can only get it at duty-free, so therefore you can't compare it to other prices. So are you getting a deal? Are you not getting a deal? The other portion of it is, if you buy duty-free in the UK, Mexico, wherever, you buy the duty-free and you can carry it on your plane. And in past experiences, you go through, let's say I was in Mexico and I connect in Phoenix and then have to go back to Dayton or Columbus or wherever. It goes from a carry-on to you have to check it into your luggage. And if you don't have enough luggage space for it, you have a whole disaster. But I'm like, hey, I'm going straight from Heathrow to Cincinnati. I don't have to do anything different. I mean, I don't have to recheck it. What the heck? I'm going to buy it. Then I ended up buying 2 bottles. That's a whole different story. So I buy my bottle. We'll just talk about one for now. I buy my bottle, and we get to the U.S. after 8.5 hours of flight time. I go through customs. I pick up my baggage. I'm like, yes, this is so easy. This is so wonderful. And I walk through the magic doors and have to recheck my luggage. I have to recheck my luggage in Cincinnati, where Cincinnati is my final destination. So I give them my suitcase, and I have my backpack, my carry-on, and I have my bottles of Scotch. I'm like, oh shoot, I have to go through security again. This is like true on security. I don't get to use my global pass. I don't get to use my TSA pre-approved, no like sidestepping everything and getting to go through the luxury lanes. No, I've got to go through full on security, remove my shoes, the works. So I'm like, okay, I'm going through this. And then I realize I've got a liter, okay, actually more than a liter of alcohol with me. And there's a huge sign saying you can have 3.5 ounces. That's a bit of a problem. So I scramble back before they put my suitcase onto the carrier to send it off, which again, I flew from Heathrow and I went through security at Heathrow. I bought duty-free alcohol at Heathrow Airport, but now I'm in the U.S. and have to go through security again, and my luggage, I can't I've landed in Cincinnati. I can't just take my luggage and go on and get to my car and drive home. No, I have to check it through security again. So I scramble back. I get my suitcase before they put on the conveyor belt and it goes away to Never Never Land. Well, actually, it was like carousel number 2. But it goes away. I have to pull it back, and I have to put my bottle of duty-free alcohol into there. Luckily, I caught it, because otherwise I don't know what I would have done, because I would have been really, 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 really pissed if I had to pour out my bottle of scotch that I just bought. My theory was, or my thought was, if I got forced into that situation, I would be drinking that bottle, and I'd be finding people in that whole security line to be drinking with me, so it didn't go to waste. But it would have been like $100 just down the drain. Luckily, I caught it all in time and it all worked out. But I really advise against the whole duty-free for alcohol. It's not a good idea. But anyways, you weren't here to listen to me rant for 6 minutes about duty-free alcohol, scam, all that type of stuff. You wanted to hear something about alcohol. So here we go. Glen Scotia. That is what I ended up, one of the bottles I ended up picking up. We'll talk about the other one later on, and some of the concerns about that. But Badu really helped me. He gave me samples of a lot of different things. One of the things I really want to talk about, well, let's focus back onto the alcohol side there. Scotch. Never liked Scotch. Did not like Scotch. Scotch is disgusting, all that type of stuff. Until a previous trip to the UK where I was in the duty-free area and I was just wandering through looking at different things, and a lady said, would I like to try anything? And I was like, yeah, I really don't like Scotch. And she goes, you haven't tried the right one. And by God, she was right. I had been trying all these scotches that were really peaty, the Islays. I may not have pronounced that right, so feel free to yell at me. I may not have been trying the right scotches. She told me what I really wanted was a Highland Scotch. Once I did that, I was like, boom, I like Scotch. So when I was at the duty free in Badu, I told him, hey, if I'm going to try something, I want to try some Highland Scotches. Glen Scotia is where he directed me. He gave me a lot of different ones to try and everything. Now, this is the Glen Scotia Crosshill. Can you see all the words on here? There's a ton of words. There's even a QR code on this. There's a lot of information here. I'm going to compress it down to a little bit. And it's not going to make a lot of sense. But there's a beautiful watercolor down here at the bottom. And that was, and I have to look back at this, it was by Alice Angus. If you scan the QR code, who knows, maybe you can like freeze frame this and you can get that QR code and you can look at it. I don't even know what to say. She's an artist. She did that, a bunch of other things. This is again, you see all those words there? It's a lot of words. Normally I try to read a couple of them or little bits and phrases here, but here's where I'm like little clips I'm going to give to you. Number one, it's Scotch. It's from Scotland. Number two, it is from Campbellton. So, Campbellton, but it says Crosshill, so that just creates a lot of confusion for me. It's a classic Campbellton malt. There used to be a lot of things in Campbellton, but now there's only 3, and it's been going on for a very long time. Very long time. Whenever you talk about England, it's been around so long, everything's been there for a very long time. So, but it's a single malt matured in carefully selected first fill bourbon barrels. So they rely on the U.S. And then a final 6 month in Oloroso sherry casks. It's at cask strength, and the alcohol by, the percentage alcohol, 56.5. Do your math out there. So like 113 proof on this, if I've done my math correctly. I'm going to skip over all the rest of it. We're going to pop. I will say that is like a really nice, I mean, look at that. That is just beautiful packaging. Okay, so we're taking this out. This is 1 liter. If I recall correctly, it was maybe 70 pounds, 65 pounds. So we are just opening this up. This is going to be my first pour from it. Did you hear that beautiful pop as the cork came out? I don't know if you heard those glug, glug, glugs, but that was pretty cool too. And the pour in there, a lot of more glug, glug, glugs. Okay. Smells really nice. So the reason I like Highlands are closer to whiskey, to I would say American whiskeys and bourbons. Not as sweet as a bourbon, but in that general ballpark there. Some nice floral notes. Cheers. For, I think what I said, like 113%. No, not 113%. That's way too much. 113 proof. This drink's exceptionally smooth. I need another moment here to get a few of the flavor notes on it. So from the flavor side, what I think of is there's an apricot flavor to it and some floralness, but not a disgusting floral like grandma's perfume, but just like a light little bit of floral note to it and some apricot to it. So like a dried apricot. Definitely not like a bourbon type sweet, but those are the primary things that I'm picking up from it. So very enjoyable, drinks very smooth. Now the downside is, unless you're at Heathrow Airport, I don't know if you'll ever be able to find this bottle. But it is Glen Scotia, Crosshill, cask strength. It's pretty good. In summary, I said pretty good. I apologize. That is really good. I definitely enjoy this. I will enjoy this straight up. Maybe every so often I'll have it on a large cube. But don't go for duty free. It is a scam. Odds are you're going to get screwed in the end. Anyways, like, share, subscribe. Have a great weekend.